Hi guys, John Hansconnect here. Today I'm going to show you what may be the world's smallest and least expensive home-built production CNC plasma cutting machine. In building this, I utilized a dryer that I got off Craigslist for $35. I used a vise that I already had, and I purchased a small CNC laser cutting machine, and I adapted it to fit my own plasma cutting head. Why did I build this so small? The biggest plate that I have to machine is a 4x4 double gang outlet plate. Most of the plates that I machine start out as single gang plates, and when I'm done I get any hole pattern that I want, including the 1/8 inch screw mounting holes. So I know a lot of you are wondering why I made this plasma cutter so small. Well, this is an example of one of the plates that I machine. I used to do it with my CNC mill that I built about 15 years ago, and it's kind of a funny story. I actually went to a Hypertherm dealer back then, and I asked them if I bought one of their machines, would it give me, nice precise cut locations. And he actually steered me away from it. He said I would have too much dross. He said it would burn the paint. He said I would have warping. So I went away from this idea for the longest time. But then last year I saw a video on YouTube where an artist was making very precision cuts with the fine cut consumables, and so that gave me the idea to pursue this again. So in December of 2020, I purchased this Cut 50L for $359. Now in October of 2021, this machine is going for $279. Now notice I said Cut 50L, which is a blowback start machine identical to how a Hypertherm works. The Cut 50 is found for even cheaper, but it is a high frequency start, which can be pretty much deadly to CNC machines. It can really mess up the program and freeze up the machine. So my Cut 50L arrives, and this is my first time holding a plasma cutter torch. So I stick my plate up to it and make a few circles, and it's immediately apparent that this is going to work quite well. The kerf is pretty narrow, it doesn't burn the paint, and it doesn't seem to warp. So since I have some knowledge of CNC, I threw it on my mill. Pow, there's a hole. So after a successful test with my mill, where I had mounted that IPT 40 head, I took it off, took it apart, kind of just studied how these heads are made, how the voltage, or the main current goes down the interior of a hose. I just learned everything I could about how to build one. Then I went online and found this part number 228716, which is actually the heart of a Hypertherm head. Both the handheld and the machine heads for the PowerMax 45 XP, the 65, the 85, and the 105. So that was pretty easy to obtain. I then purchased the fiber ceramic, or whatever the heck it is, tube extension that lets you mount a torch head, and all the consumables were also available for pretty cheap. And the most important part I had to buy was this upper joint, which has a pipe hose barb, and that attaches to the Hypertherm part, and then it allowed me to purchase just a really cheap PT31 entire torch head with hose. The only thing I used out of this is the hose itself, which has the copper line running up the middle, and the little connector that for the start-stop. Everything else I threw away, and I cut that hose off at the head and flared out all the copper inside and shoved the hose barb in so that it made contact with the copper. And I happened to have one of those PEX tube clamps, so I was able to crimp that down. So then I go onto eBay and I start looking around at CNC XY tables, and I decide that the cheapest thing I can buy that has the working area that I need and not overkill for working area is this little $113 laser engraving cutting machine. And it just comes as a kit. It has NEMA 17 motors that drive the X and Y stage, and I wasn't quite sure if this was going to be powerful enough to move the torch head around, but I also knew that I don't need any Z-axis and I don't need torch height control because all of my plates are going to be indexed in there pretty damn tight to a specific height. As I'm waiting for all these parts to arrive that I've just ordered, I go on Craigslist and I find myself a dryer, and I just had to make sure that that the motor runs, that it runs the blower. I start tearing into this dryer, removing all the drum and the head and the front, and I remove the burner, I clean it up, I get it down to where it's just the blower, and then I put the drum back in. Doesn't have the belt on it anymore, so this drum isn't going to spin. I go in and I remove the internal baffles, which are plastic, which I wouldn't want exposed to sparks. And I cover everything up with this aluminum refrigeration tape, which is fine against sparks. And now that I've got this cut 50L, I use it to cut a square in the drum, and I cut a square in the lid, and I just use this aluminum flashing and the aluminum tape to take the upper square down into the drum so it's ready to go. And here's the result. So as I was building the downdraft table, my torch head parts arrive, and I put together the torch, and here's a quick example of the first test from this torch. Now you can't tell by looking at this, but that the length of the plasma and the focus of that plasma, and it's just very superior compared to what I was seeing out of the IPT 40 head. So the Hypertherm consumables was definitely a wise choice. And now we'll do a brief time warp to pretty much completed assembly. Now normally the ground clamp would go to your main table, but I didn't really have room for this clamp. So I took the ground lead, I brought it up, I brought it through my mechanism, and I attached it directly to the 6-inch vise that holds my plates. Yes, these plates are painted, so they do need a good ground connection to my 6-inch vise. But all I have to do is scrape a little bit of the paint off using a razor blade, and I expose the steel edge. This is sufficient that when clamped in, it provides a good ground for the plasma. Okay, I've finally got my world's smallest plasma cutter working. So the dryer is running, it's sucking out all the dust and everything. So I just clamp in a plate like that. And here's Mach 3 running the G-code. Done. Very clean. I don't have to clean up that dross. That's clean enough. It's almost laser quality. So there we have it. This is the machine. I'm sure some people are going to enjoy this. Other people, perhaps Hypertherm does not enjoy this because I'm showing how somebody can build a cheaper system that cuts just like a Hypertherm, at least in small plates like this. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to answer questions on YouTube. But other than that, glad you stuck around to watch this whole video. Alright, thanks. Bye.